No more VLOOKUps in Excel. No more XLOOKUps in Excel. No more lookups in Excel. Are you ready for the future? Come on, let's go. We're going to be doing a data retrieval from this list. And I've got a whole series of examples from single records to multiple records, specific pieces of the records, sorting, filtering, searching, and even an AI example. And I really think you're going to like that one. We're going to start simple with a single record return. This is the closest thing to a traditional VLOOKUP, and every example after this will build upon the previous example. So it's really going to help you if you watch this from start to finish. Let's clear this and start with the very first thing that we need for this to work. In the source data, we need one column that has a unique value. So store name, that's not unique, it repeats all the time. Sale ID, unique for every row. We are going to use the unique value from that to return a single record. And it doesn't matter where that unique column comes in this data. We don't have to worry about that like with old VLOOKUP. For this, we are going to be using the filter function. Now we're going to add additional functions in just a moment, but we're going to keep it simple for the very first one. The filter function is a newer function that allows us to take an array, let's think of a table of data, and then figure out which records to output based on criteria. In this case, the sale ID. Well, let's go back to source and select our data. This is a table, so we can go up here and click in the corner and select all of the data for the table. Comma for the next argument. Now we need to figure out which rows to return. For the include argument, we need a column the same height as the data table we just selected. That will be sale ID for this one. And then we need to figure out how to know which row to include. Well, I only want to include rows that equal a predetermined sale ID value. So equals, back to single record, and this cell right here. Enter, and there we go. We can update this value, and the records will update accordingly. In old Excel, we would have had to have a lookup for every single cell in this row. But now we can have a single simple formula right here. Now in a moment, I will show you how to choose which columns you would like to return, so don't worry, we still have a lot of control. But this is the base function that we are going to use. And what I'm going to do is to remove this. We do not need to hard code the reference to the worksheet. And notice these right here, TBL sales, and then sale ID. That is standard table identification. So that's how you reference table elements within a formula. This is named TBL sales. You can see right here. And sale ID is the header title for that column. And note that I hard coded the titles up here. So these are not there by default, and you may need to add formatting to this row. It depends on your data set. But let's take this now. I'm going to copy this, and let's go over here and return multiple records. So all records for Atlantis, Greenville, or Springfield. And you're going to love how simple this is. All we have to do is change sale ID to store name. These are the columns in our source data table. Select store name, enter. There we go. It is amazing how easy this is. Now, if I did not change the formula, then why do we have a bunch of rows here but only one on the other page? Well, remember I told you for this, we need a column that has a unique value for every row. Sale ID does. Store name does not. It repeats. The filter function is going to return every match. So when you select Atlantis, it returns all records for Atlantis. And in a moment, I will show you how to control that even more when we get the top sales record for an individual store. That's a little bit different, but for now, it's because we changed the column that we used to figure out which rows to return that we now have multiple records. And even though I have attached C4 right here, so we made a cell reference up here, you could hard code Atlantis. So you could go like this and type Atlantis. Just don't forget the quotation marks. But let's back that up real quick. And I did make a little note here, formula trick to get the drop-down list values. But now we've got our nice working list. Let's go to the next step. Copy this guy. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to our weekly newsletter. There we send a link to our new weekly tutorials, as well as additional content and exclusive coupons for our courses. And you can sign up at tips.teachexcel.com. And let's say that we don't want all of the columns. We only want store, manufacturer, category, total, and date. For that, we would like to choose the columns that we want to use. And we have a great function now, CHOOSECOLS. All we have to do is to feed it an array, a table, a list, the result of our filter function. And then we say which columns we would like to return. I'm going to paste in our working filter function, make sure C4 is correct for this worksheet, C4, then comma, column number, let's go for 1, and close it up. Don't forget we need to remove that equal sign right there. Enter, and there we go. So what did we want? Well, let's go back to all records. Well, we wanted to return column 1. Column 1 is store name. If you want to return 2, that would be sale ID. Then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and so on. So the column count begins at 1 with the first column that our filter function will return, or the first column within the array that you choose for the CHOOSECOLS function. So let's go back to the result of our filter and count for manufacturer, category, total, and date. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So column 1 we should return, then we should return column 6, then column 7, then column 11, then column 13. And you can repeat the columns actually. Watch when I add 1 at the end. We'll get store name once again right here. It's really cool. It's really cool, I have to say. Let's take that 1 off because we do not need it. And there we go. So all we added for this example was CHOOSECOLS. Now let us select that. And how about we add a nice little sort? How do we sort? Equals sort. It is so nice. What do we want to sort? We want to sort our array, our table, our list of values. How do we want to get that list? You could select it, but we are building on to the previous function, so we paste in what we had before. And that will return an array that sort will now be acting upon. And for the next arguments, we choose how we would like to sort it. Well, let's go to the end, comma, sort index. Upon which column would you like to sort? I would like to sort on total. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Comma, would you like ascending or descending order? So 1 or -1. Let's go descending. And for the last argument, would you like to sort by column or by row? We want to sort the rows, so false. Close it up, enter, and there we go. Almost like this, except for sorted. But we're not done yet. Let us get the top sales now. I'd like to get the number 1 sale. I'd like to get the top 10 sales. So let's take this that we have working, select it, copy. And you're going to love how easy this is. Equals take. Returns rows or columns from an array start or end. What is our array? We've already got it. Paste it in. How many rows do we want to get? Let's get the top 10. Close it up. enter, and there we go. So here is a big list. Now here's just the top 10. How about if we just want the top sale? Select it all, clear that, paste it in, 10 becomes 1. And this is a drop down, so we could change it and everything updates accordingly. But now let us have a bit more fun. How about a search? So let's say that we don't know the full name of the store, but we know it begins with SP. There we go. How about Atlantis? How about the one with a G and an R, but I don't remember what else? Greenville. In this case, we're going to be returning all of the columns, and it's a little bit potentially complex, so let's start with a very simple basic filter function and add the search feature to it. So we have our basic filter function, and for the array, TBL sales. Great. But now we need to figure out what to include, and this is the search function. And remember that what we need to return here is a range of true-false values the same height as the sales table, the same height as the array in the first argument. Well, how do we get that? Well, let me back this up, and let's go to the search function. What would we like to find? Well, I want to find what's in here. Where do I want to find it? Within the store name column of the sales table. So open bracket. There we go. Close it up. What do we get? Well, we get either errors or a number. How do we turn that into true, false? Very easy. Is number. That's going to check if the returned value is a number or not. Close it up. Now we have our trues and our falses. What does that mean? We have everything we need for the second argument of the filter function. So we copy that. Now let's go back to filter, TBL sales, include what? Well, that list of true false values that we just created. And there we go. Even when it gets complex, as long as you break everything out into pieces, you'll find it becomes much easier to create these functions and formulas. But now, it's time for AI. So can we use AI in order to return this list, the top 10 Atlantis records? And the answer is very much yes. You need one of two things: an AI subscription outside of Excel, then upload your data to that AI and tell it to return the results, or much easier, in Excel, make sure that you have a Microsoft 365 subscription with access to Copilot. You may need to update Excel in order to get that. And then we can open up this little guy, go to editing mode right here, or plan mode if you're unsure about what you would like to do. And we are going to input this prompt. And remember, you can download this file for free from teachexcel.com. I'll put the link below the video. That way you can just copy and paste this prompt. You do not need to pause right now and write everything down. But let me go over this really quickly. What are we telling it? Give me the top 10 Atlantis sales and sort by total column descending. Get the values from the table named TBL sales. Return only the columns store name, manufacturer, category, total, date, time. And I did spell those correctly. Sometimes you can use quotation marks for them, sometimes you don't have to. AI can be finicky, but this prompt has worked just fine for me within Copilot because it has all the context of what we're doing here in Excel. If you put this into ChatGPT, you may need to be a bit more specific. Then include headers for each column of data. Place the headers in row 6, starting in column B, and place the data below the headers. Now I did this once before, and it gave us a very interesting let function. And it added index and sequence. So a little bit different than how we did things before, but as you probably already know, in Excel there are a million different ways to do the same thing. Let me now delete this and see if AI is going to work correctly again this time. Run. We've got some data and an explanation, and it looks like it decided to go a different route this time. So we do not have a let function. But let's take a look at what it did over here. Double click. Quite a bit different than just a moment ago. But that's how AI works, and that's why it's a very, very, very good idea to understand how everything works before you think about using AI. Because it really is going to be better for you if you can read through this and know what's going on. So maybe it will help you make a complex formula, but then you can say, okay, good, go through it and make sure that you're not going to get fired for uploading inaccurate information and sending it to your boss. Now let's hit done. Well, what'd you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the bell icon, give us a thumbs up, a hype, and a comment. I ask for those things because they help us grow. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. That's all for this one. Have a great day, a great week, and see you next time. Cheers.